Now, I'm not one to gossip, but I will bring you the tea. Welcome to Chronicle Speaks.
Well, the story of Shanquella Robinson and her passing is definitely a hard story to cover. I have daughters of my own, and things like this make me worry about the company that they keep. Well, more details are breaking concerning this tragedy, and while we thought we had a lot of the information and we're finally coming to a resolution of what happened to Shanquella, the story seems to change daily. I've been in touch with an investigative journalist in Mexico who detailed so much for me, and we're going to get into that. Things like who called the police for Shanquella Robinson, what the police actually took from Shanquella Robinson, and so much more. But before we get into that, please be sure to subscribe to this channel and hit the bell for notifications so you don't miss out on breaking news involving this story and so much more. Now let's get back into it. Shanquella Robinson was a beautiful young soul that tragically lost her life at the tender age of 25 while traveling with a group of associates who she called friends for a birthday weekend trip for Dejanay Jackson and Nazir Wiggins. While there, the group stayed in a luxurious villa, had a personal chef, and played games while drinking. Less than 24 hours after arriving in Mexico, the group's lives were all changed forever. Shanquella was pronounced dead. A trip that started off with 7 individuals traveling to Mexico ended with only 6 going back to the States. But what happened to Shanquella? Her family was told it was alcohol poisoning, but where did they get that from? After a call from her thought to be best friend Khalil Cook, her mom Salamandra thought her daughter was in good hands. After all, he's traveled with the family. He's eaten at their home. Shanquella should be all right? Moments after that call, her mother was alerted that 3 ambulances were outside trying to resuscitate her. The next thing they knew, Shanquella had passed. But what or who took her life? The unlucky Cabo 6 returned back to the United States without Shanquella. Khalil Cook, Winter Donovan, and Dejanay Jackson had all been to Shanquella's mother's home, and they told her that she died from alcohol poisoning. At the request of the family, an autopsy was given, and come to find out, Shanquella passed away from severe spinal cord injury and atlas luxation. Shanquella had been attacked. But by whom? A video surfaced of Shanquella being attacked by Dejanay Jackson, but in that video she was still moving. Later, it was said that another video is available but not currently out, showing Winter Donovan grabbing Shanquella by her throat and body slamming her. Shanquella is said to not move again after this attack. Well, I have the police report received by investigative reporter Geraldo Zuniga, and I actually spoke to him in length this morning. His English is just as bad as my Spanish. I wanted him to give us an interview, but unfortunately we won't be able to do that. But he did give me permission to discuss what he and I discussed today. So let's get into this police report that I had translated from Spanish to English, and then we'll get into some more. It starts off by saying police intervention, reason, deceased person, and it categorizes it as cardiopulmonary arrest. Date, Friday, October 29, 2022. Hour of knowledge, 5 o'clock p.m. Arrival time, 5:25 p.m. Place of intervention, Puerto Los Cabos, Founder Section, Lot 32, Street, Padre Quino. Okay, and they said the reporting data, name, Winter Essence Donovan, age 25, original, North Carolina, relationship, friend. Then they get the phone number, which I'm not going to give you that. Details of the deceased person, name, Shanquella Bernada Robinson, age 25, date of birth January 9th, 1997, origin USA, North Carolina. Facts. 5 o'clock p.m. of the day of the month of the current year, when we were on surveillance and crime prevention tours, he boarded the official unit DST 777. A report was received via radio from C2 where he communicated that in the Puerto Los Cabos subdivision, he was asking for support the medical unit since they were treating a person who was convulsing. So we immediately went to the place, arriving at 5:25 p.m. At 2:13 p.m., they requested the consultation service for Miss Shanquella Bernada Robinson, since they told her that she had drank a lot of alcohol and they wanted to give her an IV. At 3:15 p.m., Los Cabos founding section, where a female person was found who had a poor verbal response in a drunken state with stable vital signs. Dehydrated, she advises her friends that they transfer her to a hospital, but her friends insisted they treat her on the spot. She proceeds to channel without success. At 4:20 p.m., she presented a tonic seizure generalization clonic lasting less than a minute with sphincter relaxation, to which her friend named Winter Donovan proceeds to dial 911 to request an ambulance, giving rescue breaths, to which 1649, the general practitioner mentions that she had stopped feeling her pulse and started CPR maneuvers with the help of one of her friends until the ambulance arrives, and they continued with the CPR sessions with a total of 14 CPR sessions, 5 doses of adrenaline, and 6 unsuccessful discharges. She had no pupillary reflexes, no asystole pulses, for which reason the general practitioner Carolina Beatriz Ornelas Gutierrez declared her deceased at 5:57 p.m. At 6:35 p.m., a telephone link was made through the C2 to the Early Attention Public Ministries, answering the call by Mr. Julio Daniel Colson Carmana, to which he proceeded to report the aforementioned facts for what the filing instructs of the corresponding records IPH, and to wait for the arrival of the ministerial police. Let me start off first by saying someone is not being truthful. For them to say that they first called at 2:13 requesting consultation service and she was pronounced dead at 5:57, someone, i.e. the doctor, is saying that she was with Shanquella for 3 hours and 45 minutes. Although the autopsy report shows that Shanquella died at 3 o'clock, 15 minutes after sustaining injuries. The autopsy finding, in my opinion, with her passing 15 minutes after her injury, coincide with pieces of the story that was told to her mother, Miss Salamandra. Now, you know, in the midst of a lie, you'll have a little sprinkle of truth in there. And I believe that it was true that they did give her a call. They didn't tell her exactly what happened to her, but they did say something was wrong with her. A few minutes after that phone call, they called and said that the ambulance was outside. And not too long after that, they said that she passed away. This wasn't a 3 hour and 45 minute communication. This, all according to Miss Salamandra, happened pretty quickly. I'm not really believing this police report. I'm going to go with the autopsy finding. I'm also not believing what the police report is saying about her being in a drunken state. I believe because of her injury to her spine and her neck, that possibly caused some issues with her brain having some delayed reaction. Maybe they looked at it as being drunk, but I do not feel like she was in a drunken state. Love to speak to someone in the medical field, and even someone commenting down below. What happens in the event of atlas luxation? What happens to your brain? How does your body and your brain, how does your speech react to atlas luxation? I just don't believe the baby was drunk. And I don't believe a lot of stuff that was in this report. Not only do I not believe everything in this report, there's others that feel the same way. Take a listen to this.
Again tonight with breaking news. New details on Shanquella Robinson's death. A Charlotte woman died while on vacation in Mexico at the end of October. Her friends returned home, but she didn't. This new information is from Metropolimex, a local news outlet in Mexico. Its article is, of course, written in Spanish, so all information is coming from a translation of that article. But the news outlet says the report from Mexican authorities shows a doctor came to the hotel and tried to revive Shanquella around 3:15 p.m. on October 29th. Her friends told the doctor she drank a lot of alcohol. The article goes on to say that the doctor advised her friends to take her to a clinic, but they refused and requested she be treated on site. Well, 2 hours later, the doctor says that she had a seizure and a friend called 911. Her breathing and pulse stopped, so the doctor tried to revive her, and the article says she was pronounced dead just before 6 o'clock that night. Now, the report lists cardiopulmonary arrest as the reason police were called. Metropolimex also reports the FBI is investigating the omission of information from authorities and doctors because the official autopsy report, well, it doesn't match the police report. As you might know, it has been widely reported across America now. The autopsy says her cause of death was a spinal cord injury.
And the current people are under investigation. Caroline Beatriz, who is the doctor at the American Medical Center, that's the doctor who supposedly treated Shanquella, the Los Cabos municipal police officers, Omar, they don't have his last name, and David, they don't have his last name. I'll tell you about them in a minute. And the agent of the public ministry of the PGJE, Julio Daniel, they don't have his last name. I gave that to you earlier. It says they all lied. The death of the young American, according to a copy of a police report, was reported 3 hours after the femicide around 6:00 p.m. on October 29th, when the agents of the Los Cabos Municipal Police arrived as first responders Omar and David aboard the DS-777 patrol car were received by the doctor from the American Medical Center Clinic, Caroline Beatrice, reporting that at 2:13 p.m. they had requested the consultation service for the young Shanquella Bernada Robinson. I reviewed the Mexican website Metropolimix that I did have to translate into English. There's a whole conspiracy and a whole bunch of lies going on. Now, according to the investigative reporter I spoke to earlier this morning, Mr. Geraldo, the police had a chance to arrest each and every one of the unlucky Cabo Six. And I said, why didn't they do so? I said, do you have any idea why the police would cover up these individuals from another country? He said, and I quote, a police source tells me that it was possibly because the agents who processed the crime scene kept $17,000 that Shanquella brought in her luggage. Possibly took $17,000 of this baby's money. Are you serious? Not only that, he says Shanquella's murder had been hidden by the Mexican government so as not to affect the image of the tourist destination of Los Cabos. Right now, I'm taking this murder very personally. For one, she's from Charlotte, North Carolina, my hometown. For two, she's been done wrong by her friends that she trusted. And for three, the police and the Mexican government are doing her wrong. They stole her money. What is going on here? We need to get justice. She's done dirty in life. She's done dirty in death. At what point do we get her justice? According to the news in Charlotte, the police have been knocking on doors looking for a few of the unlucky Cabo Six. They have not been able to locate anyone at this point. I called the Charlotte-Mecklenburg Police Department to search for warrants on each one of the unlucky six, and unfortunately, they were not able to find a warrant, but he did tell me this. They wouldn't be wanted by the Charlotte-Mecklenburg City Police. I was told that if the police are knocking on their door, they just want to talk to them. The people that would actually be looking for them and have warrants for their arrest would be the feds. So right now, you unlucky six, Khalil Cook, Winter Donovan, Elise Hyatt, Dejanay Jackson, Nazir Wiggins, Malik Dyer, y'all all need to go to the police because they're looking for you. If you have a name to clear, then clear it. If you didn't do anything, then talk to the police and let them know. Because right now, once the Mexican government gets a hold of y'all, right now, y'all have messed up their tourist money. Y'all got all eyes on them, and it's not looking good for them at all. So if it's not looking good for them, they're going to make sure it's not any good for y'all. And according to the report, Dejanay, they have you listed as the person that did it. And not only do they have you listed as the person that did it, but they still have you listed as a transgender, even though we know you were not. So ain't no telling what jail they gonna put you in. Y'all might want to go and clear your name up. I hope all of you get what you deserve. I am happy to learn that you did not just leave her there for dead. Y'all did make a call and did try to get her help. Although y'all did put her in that situation, I am glad that she did not sit there and just suffer. She did have someone actually trying to help her from what the report says, but although the report may be off, we don't know. They're doing a full investigation. The police are under investigation. The doctor is under investigation. The minister is under investigation. And the unlucky six, they are looking for all of y'all. They are looking at everything you do. I'm going to continue following this case. As you may know, I did show up to the funeral on Saturday. Lord, my heart was just broken for this poor baby. We have got to get her justice. Stand with me in getting her justice. Any information you know, make sure you contact the FBI. Y'all can send me information. I'll send it to the FBI. We have to get her justice. This one, I'm taking personal. Y'all leave a comment. Tell me everything that you think about the new revelations in this Shanquella Robinson case. Leave a comment and you know how we do. We'll talk about it down below. Talk to you guys later. Bye. As always, thanks for watching. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, and hit that bell so you don't miss any of my new episodes.